you are a student and you want to take Bible knowledge in SPM, how do you go about it? This is part one of a two-part series. Today we'll be looking at how to register for the subject during your school's pendaftaran SPM. Every year during the beginning of the year in Form 5, your teachers will register the whole class for your SPM. So make sure you inform your class teacher in advance. Tell him or her that you want to take Bible knowledge as an SPM subject. Sometimes they will even ask you to inform the SUSPM, the PK1, or even the principal. You will notice that this is the Borang Pendaftaran SPM. They will be giving to each student in Form 5. However, they usually will not give the second page, which is the Senarai subject SPM. They'll give you one and ask you to fill it up according to what they tell you to. However, according to the Senarai, you can take Bible knowledge as an extra subject. So what do? At your Borang Pendaftaran SPM, if you scroll in, you will see that there are a total of 12 subjects. Actually, you can only register for 10. However, there is a leniency for a +2 extra subject, and it is at subject number 11 that you will add in the subject number 9221 for Bible knowledge. Of course, this depends on how many subjects you have. If you have 8 subjects, you will write this subject in number 9. If you look at the Senarai subject, out of all the Senarai elective, you can see that Bible knowledge is given as an option, elective option, right there at the bottom, 9221, and every student can register for it. Your school will most probably ask your parent to write a letter. The reason for this is sometimes the school and the teacher may not know whether this is the student's idea alone and whether the parents have given their permission for the student to take an extra subject. So they would want the parent to write a letter addressed to the school's principal. Basically, you have to say that my child, my son or my daughter want to sit for Bible knowledge in SPM. Now, what do you need to write in this letter? You make sure that you have your child's info, the name, the IC, the class name, and that you have allowed, or your intention is that your child to take up Bible knowledge as an extra subject in SPM. Also write in the second paragraph the class information. Basically, what is the Bible knowledge class that your child is attending? Maybe it's at home, maybe it's in school, maybe it's in the church. Where is the class from? What's the teacher's name? The reason they would want to see this information is they want to know whether you are serious and whether the student is seriously thinking to take this as a subject, or is it just for fun and then to quit halfway. So you make sure to further assure them that your child will study hard. If you have previous exam questions or exam paper, the marks do attach it so that they can know your rough standard. Of course, you only do this if your result is good. If your result is not so good, then you might want to totally omit this one. Don't write about the exam marks, okay? Now, what if your school does not allow you to take Bible knowledge? Maybe your SUSPM or your class teacher or your principal says you are not allowed, the school will not let you take this subject, or they ask you to daftar as a calon persendirian, or they give a lot of different reasons and says you are not allowed to register Bible knowledge. So what you do is that you need to understand first that Lembaga Peperiksaan Malaysia has given this as an optional subject, and therefore every school cannot stop any students from taking the subject. In other words, you could call and report the school's abuse of banning you, of barring you to take this subject to Lembaga Peperiksaan Malaysia. You can call this number or email this, but I do not recommend you doing this because it will put the principal in a lot of trouble. It will put a lot of pressure on the schools. I suggest instead to do another method. Okay, let me explain why taking another method is better. Firstly, because many teachers, schools, and even PPDs, your pegawai pelajaran, even the district education office, they have never heard of Bible knowledge, and therefore they don't know how to respond. They will treat it like a normal subject, and they will be thinking about all the different rules, all the different SOPs that follows other subject, but Bible knowledge is different. And because they've never heard it, they think that it is the same as other subjects. What they don't know is this: Bible knowledge is what we used to call a subject luar KBSM. Today, we probably should call it a subject luar KSSM. What that means is this subject is not listed in bahagian pembangunan curriculum. What that means is this subject is not listed in MOE, our education curriculum. You will not find this subject because this subject is only an examination paper. It is a paper offered by Lembaga Peperiksaan Malaysia. You can find it in SPM, but you will not find it in curriculum. And because they don't know this, your school teachers, your principals, they don't know about this, they may react a bit differently. So in places, in schools that already have these subjects, they are more confident, so it will be easier for them. But in places that are new, they may overreact. So keep your calm, don't fight with them, you explain it nicely. What you can do is that you can print this letter. Print this letter is called the Surat Pekeliling Ikhtisas Bilangan 1 2010, meaning that it is printed, it is given out in 2010, dated 13 January. You can download from this link here. In this letter, it says that students are allowed to take Bible knowledge as a +2 subject. What happens is that many years ago, the government has barred the total amount of subject in SPM to 10 subjects. However, there is a leniency for +2, extra 2 subjects, and those are very unique, special subjects, and Bible knowledge is one of those subjects. And in the same letter, it's also said that Bible knowledge will be printed in the same SPM certificate, meaning that if you are sitting for SPM in your school, you cannot register for a calon persendirian. You will have to take up Bible knowledge in your school as an extra subject as well. This is how the letter will look like, the Surat Pekeliling Ikhtisas Bilangan 1 2010. In the paragraph 2, it says that students are allowed to take extra 2 subjects. And what are these 2 subjects? Is any of the subjects that has been offered. I have shown you just now in the list of subjects. One of the subjects is right at the bottom, 9221. That is an acceptable subject to be taken as an extra +2. You will also notice that in chapter 3, that any stream of students can take this subject. Sometimes they will say that only for the science, only for the economy, but this Pekeliling shows very clearly that it doesn't matter what streaming you are in, what classes you are in, you are allowed to take an extra subject inclusive of Bible knowledge. And it will be printed in your Sijil SPM, meaning that you must do it in the same pusat peperiksaan with the same nombor calon peperiksaan, meaning that you must register it together in one single form, which is your school's SPM pendaftaran. Okay? Now, you can also print this out. This is a supporting document. It's Surat Pekeliling Ikhtisas Bilangan 4 2011, dated 27 April 2011. This document is not as important for you. Okay, this is more for teachers. However, it can be a good supporting document because it shows that Bible knowledge is a subject to be taught. Okay, is a subject to be taught whether in school or outside of school, but definitely outside of school hours. So your teachers will learn to get to know this subject. This is a new subject, not many people have heard of it before, but it is a legitimate SPM subject by KPM, all right? So these two documents will be helpful. The first one is more important. Now, what if all those still does not solve the problem? You need to then get support from others. Try to get your support from PIBG. If your PIBG chairman is a Christian, try to talk to them and get them to push for you. You can also talk to the school board if your school is a mission school, because in every mission school, there is a school board that comes from the church, so you can get them for help. You can also get churches to help if you are from SMK. Talk to your pastors, talk to your leaders. If you are from the Roman Catholic or Anglican, you will have a diocese education board. Get these board members and they know what to do. They will help you. You can also get help from NGOs like TCF, Teachers Christian Fellowship. They are promoting Bible knowledge and they know how to help you. You can get from FCMSM, basically is Federation of Christian Mission Schools in Malaysia. This board has been working hard trying to advocate the teaching of Bible knowledge, and they will know how to support you, bringing the people relevant to come to your aid. Okay, so make sure you ask for help, and you should still be able to register for Bible knowledge in your school as an SPM candidate. Okay, so that's all for today. This is the part 1. Make sure you watch out for the part 2 of this video. As a student, how do you register Bible knowledge in your own SPM? Thank you. See you again next time.